Before that, I need to introduce myself to you. So I am Vandana Chandel, a working professional in media industry, and it's been almost more than 13 years I have spent as an anchor and as a radio jockey in electronic media. So I worked with several news channels with Z, with Sadhna Group, with Zia. I worked for Discovery. I worked for BBC, and I also worked for ANI. I worked with several channels, those who works for the entertainment also. So as dubbing artist, as an anchor, and in radio jockey, in this capacity I have worked. So in this vast experience, experience of 13 years, I have learned so many things, and I came across that's something which really led to your success, though there are so many factors together which is going to contribute in your success. But one of the most common and important factor is communication. So I'm going to share one of the PPT with you that would make you to understand that how important it is to learn how to communicate. Okay? And when you know how to communicate, I think more of your problem is going to be resolved quickly, because communication leads to the solution of every problem about which you know. And of course, communication will help you to understand so many things. So let's talk about C for success. That's why I have given this name to my PPT, to my project, which I'm going to share with you. That effective communication for success in the organization is very, very important. What happened when we go for interview? What the people from the human resource management looks for, why they have selected somebody else, not me, or why they have selected me, not to somebody else. This is all because of just one common factor which they are looking for. So one of the very important surveys came few days back, and the survey says that 99% of the HR professionals are interested in hiring a person who communicate effectively. Otherwise, what happen if you don't communicate? What happen? Because when you communicate well, you are able to give the right direction, right guidance, right knowledge of the data which is there with you. So what happened when you don't communicate effectively? The very first problem is that it leads to, somehow you're going to have low self confidence, low esteem, just because you are not capable enough to communicate well. You have this thought in your conscious mind that because of this problem, you are not going to carry your confidence with you, and you are start lacking in other things also. Yes, of course, it creates misunderstanding. Why we are saying that? Communication is the only way for us to exchange our thought, our notion, whatever is there, the query, the question, the answer, whatever is there in our mind. But if you don't communicate neither the query, question, thought, or anything, you cannot communicate it to others. And just because of this problem, you are definitely going to miss some of the great opportunity, because you are capable, you are eligible, but just because you don't know how to market yourself, you don't know how to talk about yourself, you are not able to tell it to others that I am quite very qualified and I am eligible, and you fail to do so. So sometime great opportunities knock at your door, but you are not able to get it right. So conflict is also, even in family, I am not saying in professional life, in your personal life also, there are a lot of conflicts are there, and you just think over it, you take your time to conceive it that we need to resolve it, but you fail to resolve it. So what's the reason? One reason maybe the other person is not ready to listen to you. But majorly what happens, because we are not talking about the exceptions, majorly what happens is you fail to communicate, and that's why the conflict remains same. You are looking for the escape route, and the moment you are start looking for the escape route, yes, it's going to be a failure then, because it will be lingering in the air. And yes, another problem which comes to us, the dissemination of the misinformation, because you don't know how much you need to give it to others, so there's a filter you need to make in between, and one who's a good communicator always keep filter for certain things. So it leads to disinformation, misinformation, and it generally happens with every individual, whether it is me and whether it is you. Mistrust also happen, because the person who hardly communicate, who is not extrovert, who's introvert in personality, the person who is standing in front of you, it is very hard for them to make a realization what's going on in your mind. And there the mistrust come, because I don't know, I try to believe that you are capable for everything, but how would I know? Because you hardly communicate, or you don't communicate, or you miscommunicate. It happens. So communication is what? Communication breakdown, basically it includes feeling like other person is not listening to you, They are arguing constantly, feeling like nothing of substance is being said, and of course, it happens. So you need to always make a reminder of it, that when you are actually communicating with anybody, whether it is your boss, your colleague, or any subordinate, make it very clear, and communicate with confidence. And confidence, of course, it comes with knowledge. What to do if you want to be effective communicator? Because we know the problem is there, so we need to look for solution also. So what to do? It is really difficult nowadays. If we talk about any of the job, you want to go for any interview in any organization, if you will start looking for the Times Ascent or any newspaper which have number of the advertisement related to jobs, you will easily find out that every job is mentioning one eligibility compulsory criteria, and that is, they are looking for a person who can be a great communicator, who can speak efficiently, who can speak clearly, make their client satisfied, who can resolve the query. And of course, for that, you need communication for everything, because we are human. We need to inter-exchange our thought. And the process of this inter-exchanging thoughts is, of course, the language, the communication. You can do it verbally, non-verbally, but you need to know it. And at times when we talk about our professional life, this is less of non-verbal, more of verbal. So you go by the ads, and you will clearly see that every advertisement is going to show you the eligibility criteria, which is compulsory to be a good communicator. So why, as an individual, I am failing into it? Why I'm not learning the process? Why I know that it is important, so I need to learn it as well. And by the time, because I have already spoken about the things which is going to be created if you are not an effective communicator, so there are a number of the problem. So the one concept should be there in everybody's mind, that we need to resolve the problem, not to look for the escaping route. So if communication is your problem, you need to resolve it. So how you will be able to resolve? See, communication is not like something as miracle. It is a process which evolve, and it evolve every day. You can't say that I have practiced for 1 week, I have practiced for 1 month, but I am not able to improve my communication. It is with your life, from the beginning till the end. You are going to evolve stage by stage. So sending message is very important. Receiving end, you need to see, because if mental capacity of both the ends are not equal, so if you are talking to somebody who are kid and you are an adult, so you need to know what kind of language you need to carry, what kind of message or instruction you need to give to them, because it is really very important to see your target audience. So receiving end, you need to check. Interpreting something is also very important. A lot of misunderstanding just happened because of this, because of interpretation. So somebody said something and you understood something else, or you are saying something, the person is not able to get your things. Ambiguity is a problem in our communication. So pick the word, because not the single word is value free. Pick the word which has a right meaning, not to be ambiguous, and a direct meaning goes to that person, whosoever is going to listen to your communication or the speech you are going to give, especially in your organization. You need to be very, very careful. Don't say anything which is ambiguous. Don't say anything which has multiple meanings. Be straight, be direct, be precise, and be clear. Clarity is very important. At times when your speaking skill is not clear, so half of the word will be there in air and half of the word will be received by the receiving end. So this is how the miscommunication happen. You need to be careful about it. So everyone's communication is different, just like thumb impression. Not everybody's fingerprint is same, so not everybody's capacity to communicate is same. This is not something, at times we have seen in some people, it is god gift, inbuilt, it's in their DNA, but it is not like something which we cannot learn. So you can learn, of course, you can evolve it, and that you need to learn from the surrounding and the situation you are going to face, or you must have faced in your past, that how you need to communicate effectively. Okay, what happened when you communicate effectively and how to do it? You need to, first thing which you need to do is listen, listen, listen. I have observed, because in media we used to meet number of the people in a day. So if we go by the experience of my 13 year, we have met, I mean, thousands of the people, and I can remember some of them, because some of them were really good communicator. They were really good communicator. Now the point I want to make here is why I'm saying that you need to listen. Generally, what happens when you listen something, more than listening, our focus is to give answer. So boss said something to you and you are ready to answer. You take your time to listen, you take your time to interpret, and then you will give the answer. And please, now don't say that you will take so much of time for it. It's a matter of fraction of the second of your intellectual capacity. Okay, so you need to listen it, then only you will be able to answer. But we all are in hurry. We understand that somebody says something and then you need to give the reaction to it. Not do it immediately. Take your time of seconds to realize, to conceive the thought, and then you are able to express it. Okay, who you are talking, that of course matter. The way you talk to your driver, that is not the way you talk to your boss. The way you talk to your colleagues, the way you are not talking at home. So the context is also important, to whom you are talking. So your word choice need to be specific in that case. And body language. So we, generally when you work in a private organization, even in government or anywhere, pressure is the part of life. So whenever it's a new natural, human capacity is ready to take a lot of pressure. But at times it happened with almost every individual, that when pressure comes, our body language is going to change. So control that body language. More calmness, more strong you need to be when you are working in an environment where a lot of people of different nature and different field you are working together with them. You need to be very very cautious of your body language. Never ever your body language need to be offended, neither it lead to attacking sort of body language. You need to control it, and that you will learn with the surrounding. And keep your mind in a peace, because mental peace give the satisfaction to you, and through your brain you are going to receive the signal that how your hand need to react, how you need to smile, or whether you don't need to smile. Okay, this is all comes from the brain. So right receiving of the signal is very important, and that happens with a peaceful mind only. So if you are angry, if you're not happy, you are sad, you are thinking of any revenge, that automatically going to reflect in your body language. So when you work in organization, and even after the organization, you need to be taking control of your body language. And the way is, of course, mental peace. Check your message before you hit send. We are in hurry. We type mails like anything. Just send it. You have not written anything as greeting to all, dear sir, dear ma'am, respected ma'am, thanks and regards. You just miss that. Don't do it. It's going to create a bad impression or a negative impression in your organization, that you need to take care. Be brief yet specific. I have already spoken about it, that not too much words and not something which is ambiguous you should use. So be specific. Write things down. This is going to help you. Number of the thoughts, because we are humans, and if we go by the psychology, then thousands of the thoughts are going to come in your brain every day. How will you pick that right thought which need to be there in the brain and rest out of the brain? No, it hardly happens. We don't calculate that much every day. So what is the best way to be focused? You need to have your to-do list every day, what needs to be done. So that will help you to make a focus of everything whatever you have planned. So planning is very important, and pen down, make your to-do list is also very important when we communicate effectively. Okay, sometimes it is better to pick up the phone. Why I'm saying that? You are getting a call by somebody whom you don't want to speak right now. Person is constantly calling you just because of some conflict of some conflict of any sort of conflict. It can be in your personal or professional life. You just want to avoid that person. But you need to know that avoiding somebody is not the solution of the problem. So someday, at some moment, you need to make it. So pick the call, listen to him, communicate with him, and just rectify it. Just resolve the problem, whatever is there. This is the only solution. Then you can keep yourself, safe and happy. Otherwise, it will linger in your brain, and then it will hit you again and again. This is going to give an impact over your mind, on your body and emotion, and so many things. So why to spread it like this? Okay, we can always make a cohesive approach for it, and that is going to be worth for you. Now think before you speak. How many of us, there are places where you know don't need to think anything when you are speaking. So when you are with your friends, you are saying whatever you want to say, but this cannot be the scene in the organization, because people are working there. Okay, so you have given some task, and or you may have given some task to somebody else. If the person is not able to perform, you need to talk to them rather giving them the instruction or saying them something negative. You need to think that any negative term you are going to use for anybody who's your subordinate, that will reduce their capacity and the productivity towards the work. So this is of course not as your intention to reduce their productivity. Your intention is to enhance their productivity. So for that, if you are going to use good words, if you are going to say good things to them, of course it's going to work as a miracle, and that will give a healthy environment to every individual, those who are working in the organization. And I believe this is how, if you are going to follow these all important point which I have mentioned, I have spoken about, you are definitely going to communicate effectively, right? So you must have heard a phrase in English that is quite very popular: if you work for money, money will always work for you. We have seen this happens. So this is how it works with communication as well. So if you work on your communication is going to work for you. And this is the only way to inter-exchange the things. So it is, yes, of course, it is the thing of the prime importance. So lack of communication skill is exactly what ruins your life, in personal and in professional life. At both the places, you are going to face a lot of trouble, and that is not because of anybody else. It is just because you are not learning the art to communicate. And yes, it is art. It is not something which is rocket science, it's an art. So learn it with the time, evolve it with the situations, with your experience, and then every day you need to be better with your communicative capacity. Good communication is what we all are looking for, just to be there, be a successful man, be somebody who is succeeding everything. You need to communicate it, and that's why I have given the title to my presentation: C for success. So if you want to be success, if you want to be somebody who want to be somewhere in a strong position, you need to know the importance of the communication. And please, I always say, don't ignore, don't say I am introvert personality, I am not able to speak that much, or this is what I cannot do, why do we need to communicate with others, I love isolation. Please don't say that, because we are social animals. We need our surroundings, we need to interact, we need to learn. And this is how, by learning communication art, you can be a successful person in future. With this, I want to say thanks to everybody, those who are watching my video, and I believe this is going to help you, and this is going to give you the great idea that how you need to learn and how you need to be effective in that ways. So with this, I end up my conversation with you, and thank you. Thank you. So I'm getting your messages. I believe this communication theory it is, but till the time you are not going to implement the theory in your practical life, it is just like book knowledge that we should not do. So I believe those who are, so whoever is actually watching the video may get some tips through which they can enhance their communication skill, and they can rectify their problems and the error in their communication capacity. Thank you, everyone. Best of luck. All the very best.